Cork's Red FM.
Just who is that rider coming up behind? Because that looks like Roche. That looks like Stephen Roche. It's Stephen Roche who's come over the line. Stephen Roche is now going to win this Tour de France.
The Tour de Cure is basically the cycling event for everybody, really. For basically, putting it bluntly, putting bums in saddles, and that like anybody can ride a bike. So the idea is we created this event last year with the proceeds going to charity, and it went very, very well. We collected some 40,000 euros for different charities, and the charities of course were happy to receive the money, but at the same time we were delighted to have put 500 people on bikes. So we decided to take it as a model and run with it this year. We have different sponsors on board, and we've basically created a weekend of events where we have the Friday night we've got a gala dinner, and we have the Saturday we have 4 different events with events running from 50k, 100k, 160k, and we have a family event and a 15 kilometres dead flat for families and anybody that wants to come along and join along.
So anyone has a bike, basically?
Anybody has a bike. Like everyone's just thinking about riding to work on your bike now and all this kind of stuff. And people have bikes now and people don't know what to do with them or how to ride them. Whereas, I mean, having this kind of a 15 kilometre event is basically for those people that can, anybody that can ride a bike to work and ride 50k. So the idea is to show up and they can do it and ride with many other people and have fun in doing so. And
for the people in the 50k, the 100k and the 165k, an awesome jersey available for them as well.
Yeah, we've done a special memorial jersey this year, which is probably in the shop probably cost about 50-60 euros, whereas the entrance fee to the event is only costing 40. So there's kind of a couple of souvenirs for the people taking part, and the idea is that everyone gets value for money, everybody has a good time. The more people we have on board, the more charities can benefit from it as well. So we have myhome.ie on board this year as one of our main sponsors, and other kind of silent sponsors as well being involved. And after last year's success this year, we're hoping for go from 500 last year, hopefully going to 800 to 1,000 this year.
And with the 50k, the 100k and 165k, people will know their level themselves, won't they?
Well, as the distance goes up, the circuits get harder. So, basically anybody looking to ride to work will be riding 50k and, being content to ride 50k or even going to 100k. But anybody going for the 160, we were going over the V down and get to Clonmel. So it's going to be very, very hard riding. So you want to be kind of a good Sunday rider to be able to kind of cope with that. Although we have a broom wagon behind, and the idea is not to be finished first, it's to participate. Yeah. So the idea is to go out and ride it, make sure, of course, your bike's in good condition, and also don't go on and ride a 50, 100 or 160k race or event if you haven't done any training. You can only get out what you put in. So anybody that's only going out and riding the bike once a week, don't even dream of going out and doing a 160 kilometre one. So even at your own slow pace, you're putting lights in the bike, kind of be coming in late at night time. But no, the idea is you do a bit of cycling, and you kind of go on the event whichever you think is suitable for you.
Just talking about cycling in general, I was your son Nicholas. He was in the press over the weekend. A fantastic showing at the Tour de Catalunya.
Yeah, he had a brilliant ride down there. He had 5th overall on GC. He had a couple of top 10 placings, finishing 3rd on the stage, 6th on the stage. But the more important and most significantly sign is it's actually a Pro Tour event. Like all the top knobs are in there, Contador was there as well. And like it's his first top 10 placing in a Pro Tour event. So he's had a reasonably good season so far, finishing 11th in the Paris-Nice. And now we can only look forward now to the Tour de France coming up in July, and maybe top 10 finish and definitely a stage win.
It's been a very steady progression in his career, hasn't it?
He's had a very, very progressive kind of curve. He's been getting better and better every year. This year he's lost like 3 or 4 kilos compared to last year. He's actually started his season this year on the same weight he finished the Tour de France last year. So he's been very, very careful on his diet this winter. But he has very kind of even progressive curve, and there's no signs of it stopping for the moment. So he's developing in all areas, like in sprinting and time trialing, in climbing. Like he's only 25. So it's 6 years as a pro, but he's got loads of potential still ahead of him, I think. And I think this year we'll see him doing bigger things again in the Tour de France. Even though last year he did great things, we weren't expecting him to see him up there in the first 20 overall. But this year I think he's gone up another level, I think, in this mentally and physically. And I reckon this year he's on for a top 10 placing overall and at least a stage win.
Because he was within a whisker of winning a stage last year, and there's definitely high hopes from this year.
This is it. Like he's done. It's most frustrating for himself. I think it must be that he's gotten so close to winning so many good races. Yeah. Whereas we know Nicholas has finished in the top 10 here and top 10 there, but I think it means a lot, but little at the same time. But tomorrow, if he wins a big event, then we'll say, that's because he finished 2nd here, 10th there, 8th over there. All those minor places will all kind of fall into place and have more value. But unfortunately, he hasn't won the big one, and he's knocking on the door. Like he's even this year, like last week there in Catalonia, he was 3rd on the stage, and after initiating the main attack, he finished 3rd, whereas he deserved to win the stage. But something's always happening, either in the wrong gear or doesn't take the right wheel. He panics because he wants to win, and he wants to win so much he makes mistakes. So, but nevertheless, I think once he gets one major win, that'll kind of all fit into place. I think he'll go a step higher.
How about yourself? Do you ever get tired of talking about your own career, in particular 1987?
No, I think it's something that's it's nice to be asked about it, because like it was a major part of my life, my whole cycling career. And during that period of my life, I gave a lot of time to press, to public, and to my sport. And I think that if, because my career is over, we turn the page and no one ever talks about it again, I'd say, well, it wasn't really, I've been cheated really, because I gave so much to the sport that it's nice, of course, to be reminded of certain things, and also to listen to how different people appreciate what I did do, because during those days I was just riding on to the next event and not really realising what achievements I had done, you know. So it's nice, like 15, 20 years on, to still talk about those events and to be able to appreciate them still. I think in those days the thing was, you know, in Ireland we had myself, Sean Kelly, then we had Paul Kimmage, Martin Earley, my brother Lawrence, Alan McCormack. Like we had a good kind of innings there for Irish cyclists on the continent, and we were bringing home the best trophies in the world. So like for a small kind of nation like ours to be going out there and beating the biggest in the world, it was great. And of course the radios and television back here and paper actually covered our careers very, very closely. Unfortunately today, you know, it's not as close, but I think that the champions are there, the cyclists are there, the quality of cyclists is still in the country, and it's a matter of kind of harnessing it together now and trying to get it over beyond.
Just only a matter of time before the profile of cycling is raised again.
Well, having a couple of local guys like Nicholas now is doing a reasonably good job. Dan Martin, my nephew, is doing a good job. There's some other lads now, Loughlin's and what have you, on the continent, doing well also. And there's some new lads there at the moment over in Marseille. They're doing well. So I think there's a new batch of riders coming through, and with the federation now getting their act together, I think, and I hope sincerely that there will be more riders now on the forefront in the coming years. Just
before we let you go, Stephen, back to the Tour de Cure. If anyone wants to get involved, how do they go about it?
There's Stephen Roche tourdecure.com website. Everything is on there. So it's €40 a head. A sign-on fee. There's a sponsorship card which we give to you. You can bring in €5 or €500. There's no obligation as so much sponsoring money you come in. It's €20 for the family run on the Sunday for a family of 4. And everybody gets, except for the family run, everybody gets a souvenir jersey and some freebies on the day to celebrate the event in itself.
Are you going to be cycling yourself?
I'll be cycling. I'm going to start each of the events and probably finish one, probably finish in the 100, probably. Depends on how time goes and how the weather is and everything else. Last year I finished the 50. I started with the long one, came back and started and finished with the small one. So this year I'm going to try and do the same again. Probably a little difficult. Well, my excuse is the 160. I'd love to do it, really love to do it, but it could be a bit long. So we'll settle probably for the 100.
And Midleton's a beautiful part of the world to start and finish, isn't it?
Absolutely beautiful, yeah. And I kind of, when I raced here years ago, I had great memories of the whole place down here, so I'm delighted to come back and participate in an event like this now again.
Well, Stephen, thanks very much for talking to us. Best of luck, and we'll be in touch before the race starts.
Great, thanks a lot.
Cork's Red FM.